aggressive about it.
Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another live stream and welcome to all your latest Chelsea news. And it's not a good day, guys. Not a good day if you are a Chelsea fan with the latest news that we've received from the Enzo Maresca press conference ahead of the Brighton game tomorrow. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Make sure you're smashing up the likes. Subscribe if you're new around here. All of that good stuff. Make sure you get involved in the chat as well. We have got a packed show as always. Injury crisis for Chelsea. No Cole Palmer until after the international break. No Tosin until after the international break. And also no Wesley Fofana until after the international break. 2 fit centre-backs at match day 6. Trevor Chalobah and Josh Acheampong. But guys, we didn't need to replace Levi Colwill. We didn't need any of that. We didn't need another centre-back. Just make use of what you got. The answer's not always buy. Well, I'll tell you what. Where are you lot now that were saying that to me in the chat before? Where are you? That's right. You're probably hiding, or you've got to backtrack on the ridiculous opinion you delivered on the fact that we didn't need another centre-back. The manager has got every right to feel let down by this football club. Let down by the decision makers. Let down by the sporting directors. Let down by a shambolic transfer window. And yet the people in charge who delivered the shambolic transfer window have been given new contracts, keeping them at the club for the next 6 years. Could only be Chelsea. Could only be Chelsea, where we're more bothered about winning the transfer market than we are about winning on the pitch. We're patting ourselves on the back for good business rather than business that's going to push the football club forward and take us to the next level. Sick of it. Absolutely sick of it. And now, match day 6, we are paying the full price for our incompetency in the transfer market and not giving the manager what he wanted. We are paying the full price for that, chat. The full price for it. It didn't take long, did it? I said this would happen. That we're going to be in trouble with injuries because of the Club World Cup and because of not strengthening in the key areas once again for the 3rd successive transfer window. And we're now paying the price for it. We've now got 2 fit centre-backs for the next 3 games. Chalobah's played every minute of every game so far this season. He can't continue to do that. It's an opportunity now for Josh Acheampong. Absolutely. But anyway, before we get into it, guys, before I say hello to a lot of you in the chat, make sure you check out Jerseys FC Soccer Shop. Link is in the description. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off. Home kit, 3rd kit, away kit, whatever one you want. Names, numbers, patches, whatever you want on the back. Great quality, affordable prices. Make sure you're looking fresh for the upcoming season, guys. You know, whatever ones you want. So, guys, check it out. Jerseys FC Soccer Shop. Links in the description. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off. That is enough about that. Let's see what you lot are saying in the chat, and then we're going to dive into this. They want Maresca gone. No, they don't. Bro, they're not faking injury. Good morning, all. It's unfortunate, but I'm not surprised. No, not surprised. We should have seen it coming. Poor planning. 100% it was. Esteban Garnacho start. Yeah, I would say so. Bro, that's never going to happen. That is never happening. I'll tell you when Fofana suffered a concussion is when that idiot Philip Jorgensen cleaned him out in the first couple of minutes when he missed the ball for a cross. That's when that happened. Yeah, bro, this got bad real quick. It did. I think it's 8 injured players at the moment. Yeah, bro, we need that January window. Yes, run up the likes. Smash that like button. 70 in the building already, chat. Make sure you're smashing up the likes. Get this up to 100 ASAP. Shitty planning? Agreed. Agreed. No centre-backs FC. 100%. No, I don't think Brighton will smash us, but we're there for the taking. We're weak at the back again. Maresca said that Lavia and Badiashile could be back for this one, if not the next one. So even if they're back, they'll both be on the bench. Neither of those players are going to start. Yeah, no, we do. We do. Bro, no, not right now. We can't. No, you have to wait until the transfer window's open. So no, you can't call back any loans at this point in time. No. Bro, Maresca was asked about that. It's not happening. But yeah, we are paying. Well, not only we're paying the full price for the Club World Cup, and we're paying the full price for sheer incompetency and idiocy in the transfer window. Now, Dortmund will play him. I think he's injured after his first game. Shock. Big up, brother. It's not about me being right. It's not about, I was right, you were wrong. It's just this was so obviously going to happen, and yet we didn't prepare for it whatsoever. Didn't make any plans for it at all. I don't want to hear, oh, yeah, but there was UEFA restrictions. We knew about the UEFA restrictions in July, but decided to spend £90 million on 2 average wingers rather than getting a centre-back and a goalkeeper. Could have signed 1 winger and got a goalkeeper and a centre-back, which would have been far more beneficial for us. This is the situation that we're dealing with right now. Yes, big up, big up. Yeah, bro. Yeah, we absolutely are. Even our Chelsea South African rugby doctor can't fix these broken players. No, he's not a doctor anyway. He's a mentality guy. Yeah, this is a big chance for action, Pong. There's always opportunity in disappointment, So one person's disappointment is another person's opportunity, and that is exactly what it is for action, Pong. But let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. The news that we kind of expected: Cole Palmer out until after the international break. Let me just quickly bring up what he said on Palmer. He'll be rested until after the international break in the hope he can recover from a groin injury. We decided to protect Cole a little bit to not let his injury get worse. We decided to rest him for 2 to 3 weeks until the international break to see if he can recover 100%. I don't think he needs surgery. It's just a matter of managing the pain in his groin. If you're going to give him, this is what I don't understand about this specific scenario. This will get better to a certain point, but then surely the pain's going to come back when he starts playing again. Are we really saying that we're just going to manage this situation for the rest of the season? And like we were discussing yesterday, he might get through some games, but he might have to come off after 15, 20 minutes in other games. This, to me, is not looking like a sustainable solution at all to managing Cole Palmer. If this was the final 4 or 5 games of the season, no problem. Let's manage it. Let's get him through it. That's fine. Not an issue. We've played 5 games in the Premier League. There's 33 games left in the Premier League, plus Champions League games and everything else. What we're saying here is 2 to 3 weeks rest is going to sort everything out, and then we'll be able to manage the pain after that. If we're in a game-by-game management process with Cole Palmer's groin, if you're giving him 3 weeks off now, why have you not just sent him for the surgery? That is the question that I want the answer to. Why have you not just sent him off for the surgery? It's the maths is not mathing, chat. The maths is not mathing with this situation. Look, big blow to miss him for Brighton, big blow for Benfica, and of course an even bigger blow for the Liverpool game. But we do have to think bigger picture when it comes to Cole Palmer. You've got to think bigger picture. And if you have to take a bit of short-term pain for long-term gain, then that is absolutely the decision that we should be making, and that is clearly the decision that has been taken here. But for me, to be perfectly honest, I would rather just send him for the surgery and just get this over and done with. That's my personal opinion on it. So look, this is not a surprise that he's missing for the Brighton game. I thought maybe we might have tried to get him through these next 3 games because they're important games, and then we look at going again surgery-wise international break. I still feel that at some point a surgery is inevitable. And why, I get it, they want that to be a last resort, but why you wouldn't just go for it and get it done? We went through this situation with Reece James. We tried to manage his injuries by not going down the surgery route. Eventually, we had to. Same with Wesley Fofana. Same with Enzo Fernandez with a similar situation. He had a hernia. We tried to manage that. Eventually, he had to go down the surgery route. For me, it's inevitable that Cole Palmer gets the surgery. You know, I think that's bound to happen. And for me, we should just basically go through it. You know, we should basically go through it. Generally, might be one of those things that don't require an operation. I've messed my knee up before, but after a month plus, no. Look, maybe it's not. Maybe it doesn't require one, but you might get a better outcome if you do. If you do, and exactly as I'm saying, this is very, very similar situation. If you can manage it, fine. But for me, all roads are pointing to the surgery. So this is the news that we expected. Cole Palmer out until after the international break minimum. But again, with Chelsea, you know, we've seen that the club do tend to lie. They tend to lie about injury recovery times. They tend to lie. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was even longer than after the international break. I wouldn't be surprised if Palmer wasn't available against Nottingham Forest first game back after the break. But that is the latest on the Cole Palmer situation out until after the international break. And then we will reassess the situation at that point. So this news wasn't unexpected. But obviously when it gets confirmed, you're still like, it is obviously a major disappointment. Bro, I never said we were finishing top two. I predicted Chelsea to finish third place. And I will stick with that until that otherwise looks very, very difficult. With Cole Palmer out, we won't finish top four. Bro, he's missing 3 games potentially. I don't think we're, after 5 games, should be worried about the top 4. Yeah, bro, cooked, barbecued, well done, like an overcooked steak. Yeah, we're look, it's problems, big problems. So that was news that we expected. News that we didn't expect, however, was bad news in regards to centre-backs. Because we know that Tosin was rested, not in the squad for the Lincoln game. Didn't really think much about that. He played the full game against Man United. He came off the bench against United, played the full game pretty much. So he came on after about 5 minutes. Tosin's injured. He suffered a problem to his calf. He'll probably be out until after the international break. So whether he was injured in the United game or he could have got injured in the United game, could have suffered that injury in training between United and Lincoln. We're not sure. Regardless of when it happened, the fact of the matter is we are another centre-back down. Another centre-back down. And look, Tosin is not amazing by any stretch of the imagination. I think he's been okay this season. 1v1 defending, shocking, but it's a body. It's a body now that we don't have. No Tosin, no Badiashile, no Fofana, which I'll come on to. We have got Achimpong and Chalobah as our only fit centre-backs. You know, and when people say, and yeah, look, it is purely from a numbers perspective and the amount of players we've got available at centre-back in this point of time, then yes, that is a major problem for us. A major problem. We can't afford to be one body down with our current centre-back issues. We cannot afford for that to be the case. We cannot afford for that to be the case. And yet, here we are. Game week 6. Game week 6, and we've got 2 fit centre-backs. Tosin down. We'll get on to that. Fofana is concussed, thanks to Jorgensen and his clumsy self, who can't claim crosses or drops the ball all the time from balls into the box. That happened early doors against Lincoln when Jorgensen came out, and instead of getting the ball, he cleared out Fofana. And Fofana's concussed. And with concussion, the protocols are you have to miss 10 days. So there we go. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. You know, maybe that is something that will have to be looked at, but I don't envision that. Sorry, being a situation. Guys, we're over 100 in the building, but with 34 likes. Chat, come on. What are we playing at here? What are we playing at here? Run up those likes, guys. There's plenty of you in the building. The community is great. We've got to be doing better here. Smash that like button like you are, I don't know, like you are, I'm not sure. Just smash the like button, chat, anyway. Well, Maresca's not sure. He thinks Badiashile and Lavia could be back. If it's not this one, it will be the next game against Benfica or Liverpool. But even if Badiashile's back, he's not going to go. He's not going to go straight into the starting lineup. That's what we need to realise here. He's not going to go straight into the starting lineup. No chance. Yeah, bro, the Club World Cup's cooked us. The Club World Cup's cooked us. No, he won't. Maresca was asked about this in the press conference and said there was no plans for that to happen. Whether that changes or not, we'll wait and see. Gilchrist was sold permanently. There'll be no callback. No is the answer to that. No. Just a question of how many will Liverpool put past us next Saturday. I'll be happy if we lose with a less than 2 goals. I'm not even thinking about Liverpool right now. That's a long way off. How the hell was he allowed to carry on Tuesday if he's now out for 10 days? I don't know how he was allowed to carry on. They obviously did the concussion checks on the side of the pitch and he seemed fine. It obviously can't have been a serious concussion. He played the full game against Lincoln, but obviously the protocol is you've got to miss 10 days. And so when they obviously done the further checks after the game, that was the situation. Well, 12 days because it would have been from the Lincoln game. But regardless, he's not back until after the international break now. That's the simple reality of the situation, is he is not back until after the international break. Bro, the fact that people are getting to the point where they're opened for a Disasi return is really showing how in the trenches we are right now in terms of our defensive options. You know, that's the issue here. Big issue. Big issue. So no Tosin. So again, another blow. And these are the sorts of things that we should have been planning for. These are the sort of things we should have been planning for in the summer. You've always got to think worst case scenario. You've always got to think worst case scenario. And we simply didn't. We simply thought that everything was going to be all right. We thought that, you know, the existing centre-backs we had were good enough. We thought that, we can manage with what we've got, taking into no account that what happens if what we've got picks up injuries. That clearly wasn't thought about. And I just find that an incredible oversight from the people in charge that they seemingly did not consider what happens if the existing centre-backs get injured. We had a month to deal with the Levi Colwell situation, and we decided not to. We actively made that decision not to go and sign another centre-back, despite the manager stating that he wanted another centre-back. We then go into the season with limited centre-back options and a lack of quality at centre-back. In the opening 5 games, we have been a defensive shambles with the goals that we've conceded. And now we are down to 2 fit centre-backs at match day 6. We need to give those in charge an incredible round of applause. Well done, guys. Well done, because that is an exceptional job you've done there. Applauded for an exceptional job and applauded for an incredible lack of oversight. Incredible lack of oversight to think that this was fine. It's unforgivable. I'm sorry. It's unforgivable. There's no other word for it. We're in this mess. And that is why I'm applauding you not to go after the manager in this situation. He has got to deal with a poor hand. He's been dealt a poor hand in this situation. And so this is why, guys, I'm urging you, please do not go for the manager when shit goes wrong. Absolutely, the Man United game was 100%, deserved criticism. I called him a coward for it, and I stand by it. But generally speaking, guys, look at the situation that he's got to deal with. Look at how he's been let down by the club in the summer. Look at how that poor decision-making in the summer is now leaving the manager majorly exposed and in a very, very difficult situation. This is not his fault. We've got to hope that he can find a way to coach a win in this game on Saturday. We've got to find a way. We've got to pray that and hope that he can find a way to win on Saturday. These are the problems that we are facing right now, chat. And that's why I'm urging you, do not go in on the manager. Because you will see, if we drop points on Saturday, you will see people going for the manager. You will see it. And that cannot be allowed to happen. We cannot allow the people who are at fault for this to get away with it. The pressure must be kept on those that have made the decisions. The pressure must be kept on them. There is absolutely no way that Enzo Maresca should be under more pressure than the sporting directors this season. Yes, Maresca's shown he's got a few flaws, but the squad looks half-cooked. It looks half-baked, you know. And with the heavy investment we've had, for a squad to look half-built is outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Bro, to compete for what? To compete for what? To compete for top four? Yeah, maybe. But that's not what we should be doing. That's not what we should be doing. We need to be competing for titles and the big trophies with the amount of money we've invested. And we simply cannot do that because of the way that the squad's been put together, which is a shambles. It's a shambolic squad rebuild. I don't care what anyone says. It is a shambolic squad rebuild, in my opinion. And that simply cannot be the situation. Cannot be the situation. Okay, can't be the situation. Rejecting the chance to sign a goalkeeper, not signing a centre-back because they think it's in the best interest, signing, at best, average players in attack other than Joao Pedro, average player in Jamie Gittins, average player in Alejandro Garnacho. It's not good enough, chat. It is simply not good enough. Bro agreed that we lack quality defenders, but who would have thought out of 6 centre-backs, 4 get injured? Manager cannot be blamed. Now anything that matters is results. Look, results are what always matter. Sure, centre-backs, no Colwell. You had time to deal with that. You know that Fofana is injury-prone. And you know that you're running a risk that with Chalobah and Tosin having to play a lot of minutes, there's a chance that one of those could get injured. Only 2 people are at fault for the situation right now. And that is the 2 sporting directors. Those are the only 2 at fault. So there's no Tosin, which is a blow. And then to further compound our misery, Wesley Fofana will need to skip the next 12 days due to concussion symptoms cropping up after the Lincoln game. Means he's set to miss Chelsea matches against Brighton, Benfica and Liverpool. Fofana, back in the mix after being injured for a long time. Played against United, played 90 minutes against Lincoln, started 2 games in the space of 3 days, which I did not expect. And yes, we know his injury record is not good. But if we didn't have 2 absolute morons in goal, the second one being Philip Jorgensen, who's even worse than Robert Sanchez, we have got Philip Jorgensen to thank for Wesley Fofana missing the next 12 games because Jorgensen came for a cross early doors against Lincoln, and as usual, he plays like a goalkeeper who's got no hands, and he comes out and he just clears out Fofana and completely misses the ball. And now we're down another centre-back because Fofana's got concussion. Let's all take a moment to give Philip Jorgensen a round of applause to top off his shambolic performance against Lincoln, where he looked utterly pathetic. He's now also cost us a centre-back. And yeah, great stuff. Well done, Philip. Congratulations, brother. Really important contribution from you this season. I mean, look, he's not injured, so it's fine. He's not injured. He has to miss by protocol. So Fofana's not injured. So that's obviously a positive in this situation. Make no mistake about it. That is a positive, guys. What is not a positive, though, is that we're still only on 55 likes. Chat, we're 150 in the building. Smash that like button. Come on, guys. And keep subscribing if you're new round here as well. How many subscribers are we on at the moment? We are getting ever closer to 18,500. Remember, chat, there is going to be a shirt giveaway. So make sure you are smashing the like button. Smash that subscribe button as well. I will be giving away this Esteval shirt, but we need to get the subscribers up before that happens. Let me just show you the Esteval shirt. Let me show you the Esteval shirt, chat, that will be given away. So it's an Esteval shirt, Chelsea third kit, Club World Cup badge on it. We've got Champions League settings as well, and Esteval on the back. This will be given away, but we need to hit 20k subscribers before that is given away. So make sure you are smashing the like button, but this will be given away by myself. But we've got to get the subscribers up, guys. So smash the likes and subscribe, and this giveaway is happening for one of you lucky viewers. Okay, chat. No, the shirt's not pre-worn. Guys, I'm not giving up. Do you really think that I'm going to wear a shirt and then be like, oh, do you know what? I've worn it now and I'm going to give it away. The shirt is not pre-worn. Nothing being done about keepers yet. Penders will probably be first choice goalkeeper next season, by the way, which is mental. Penders will probably be first choice keeper next season, which is mad. Absolutely mad. So, yeah, no Fofana because he's been cleared out by Jorgensen and he's now concussed. So we're down to 2 fit centre-backs. Huge problems. Huge problems. Of course, as I've said, this is an opportunity now for Josh Achimpong to really stake his claim for a run in the side. He's probably now going to play the next 3 games because there is no one else. Because there's simply no one else. No one else to play. So, that's looking really positive. Yep, Sanchez is available for tomorrow. We got to step up. We have got to step up. And we do, look, we have got a team, despite the injuries, that is capable of beating Brighton. But we really need to pull together now and stick together and grind out a result. Grind out a result. Tosin out until after the international break. Yeah, brilliant start to the season. So that's 3 centre-backs down in Colwell, Fofana and Tosin, plus Badiashile is still not fit. But other than that, guys, everything's going swimmingly well. Swimmingly well, chat. There's always next season. There's always next season. Maresca himself speaking on Achimpong and the centre-back situation. Let me just bring these quotes up. I already showed trust and confidence with Josh Achimpong last season when we played Josh away at Palace and at home against Bournemouth. The reason why was not because we had any central defenders. We trust Josh. He was ill this week, but had a session yesterday with us. Part of my job is to find solutions when we have problems in terms of numbers. So again, it looks to me like, well, he's got no choice. He has to play Achimpong tomorrow. Yes, I think it's clear that he does trust him. No, of course it has. Of course it has. But we knew that was gonna be the case, and we should have planned accordingly. But we didn't plan accordingly to try and foresee this situation because of the Club World Cup. We didn't plan accordingly. And that's what we should have done, and we didn't do it. Carragher at left centre-back in a back 2 is an absolute no. Yes, he can tuck into left centre-back in a back 3 when we're in possession, if we invert from the right-hand side, but otherwise that's not happening. No, look, trust me, the supporters are fully behind the team and the manager. They know that this is beyond Maresca. They know that he's been let down in the transfer window with a lack of quality signings and failing to address key areas. We know that these things have happened and have occurred. We are fully aware of that. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's more than likely to be the case. I would be shocked if he played Jarell Hato at centre-back over Achimpong. I would be very, very surprised if that were the case. Bro, Koulibaly was sold about 2 years ago. There's no Koulibaly recalling. The only plan these owners had was how much money to get. Yeah, bro, I hear it. Time to use Josh. Yeah, Josh will be used. The academy, I don't think we will use the academy. Because I don't think there's any, outstanding centre-back talents that are ready to step up and fill the void. Achimpong will play. He has to play. And we've just got to hope that we can actually just get through this. We've got to hope we can get through this because right now it's looking peak for us. It's looking peak for us. Bro. No, he's not making excuses. He's speaking facts. He's speaking facts. He's been let down by the football club, and now he's got to find solutions with average players and average ingredients. That story is about as true as me being at Cobham this morning training with the squad. That's how true that story is. I'm confident. I'm not confident against Brighton. No, it's difficult. What I'm going to do now, by the way, as well, chat, we're going to go through some quotes from Carragher because Carragher has come under fire from Chelsea fans for comments that he's made in the past, and rightfully so. However, recently, Carragher has been spitting facts. Excuse the pun there, but he's been dropping serious facts on Chelsea. Starting with on Sky after the Man United game and continuing in his column for the Telegraph. And he is absolutely spot on with every single word that he says here. Defeating PSG should have signalled a new era of intent. Regardless of mine or anyone else's opinion of the FIFA event, Chelsea should have left the US with the message, we're here and we're coming for the Premier League and Champions League next. Instead, the next 6 weeks of transfer activity were odd. There cannot be a single Chelsea fan who can disagree with one word of that, because this is facts. And this is once again another missed opportunity after a period of success to go and strengthen, to go again and show that you mean business. We followed up that Champions League winning season with Thomas Tuchel. And instead of going for it and renewing key player contracts and, really making a splash in the transfer window, we signed Saul on loan, Marcus Bettinelli and Lukaku. That was our transfer window after winning the Champions League. You announced yourself on the world stage with a young upcoming squad. And your answer to that, instead of ushering in a new period of dominance potentially, or a new era of intent, you decide to go and do the transfer window that we did in the summer. It's poor. It's poor. It's poor. Bro, please tell me how that's nonsense. That is absolute facts, in my opinion. Absolute facts. How can anyone disagree with that? I don't understand, because that is just so, that couldn't be any more true right now. Couldn't be any more true. So Chelsea Rogers, please tell me how that's nonsense. Please tell me how that's nonsense. I would love to hear. From bomb squad and loan in Palace to one of, to basically one of Chelsea's most important players now. Yeah, of course I'm frustrated with the Palmer situation. But they're giving him rest. They're giving him an opportunity to come back after the international break. Let's see what happens. But again, we've only got ourselves to blame for the situation that we're in right now, because this summer was an opportunity to show that we're serious, and we didn't take the opportunity to show that we're serious. We showed that we're not really fussed about coming for the Premier League or the Champions League title. We showed that with the business that we did. We showed that we're not serious about closing the gap. When you hear Maresca's comments about, the intent that Liverpool showed with their business, that they're there to win the Premier League, win the Champions League. Our intent was that we're not doing that. And Maresca was saying that. It's not hard to read between the lines of those comments about the Liverpool game. That was poor. No, he's not. He's not getting there. I'm giving him a free pass on that. Palmer should have been the first one off at Old Trafford. Should have been the first one off. But what we also have to acknowledge as well is that Palmer would have told Maresca that he wants to play and that he's ready to play. But where I would agree is that he should have been the first one off if he's not 100%. Bro, I'm not deviating. It's just missed opportunity after missed opportunity. It's constantly, oh, what about next season? What about next season? Where's the evidence that this plan is going to win us a Premier League or a Champions League or get us competing at the top of the Premier League? There is no evidence. We've been a cup side since 2017 under Antonio Conte. We've been a cup side since we last won the league. We've shown that we can put together 7-8 games in a competition and win trophies. We've shown that we can beat the best teams in a one-off game. What we have not shown is that we are capable of competing over a 38-game period in the league. We have not finished higher than third in the Premier League since we last won it. That's 8 years now. We've not finished higher than third. So please forgive me for having reservations and not really believing that this recruitment model and this way of operating can get us back to where we need to be and where we should be. Exactly. But what the plan of what? Bro, we're not winning a Premier League in the next 2 years. 2 years' time will be 5 years of this ownership in 2 years' time. We are not winning a Premier League title in 2 years' time. Let me just make that abundantly clear. In the next 2 years, we're not winning a league title. So what? We end up wasting 5 years for what? What have we wasted 5 years for? We're 3 years in and we're still having the same conversations about why didn't Chelsea go and address key areas in the transfer window? Why did they recruit the way that we recruited? Why is there no top goalkeeper? Why is there no top centre-back? Why do we lack depth in the number 9 position? How are we still having the same conversations 3 years in, yet people are still defending the football club? I don't understand it. Criticising the football club does not mean that you don't support the team or you don't want the team to do well. It doesn't mean that. Bro, please tell me where this is coming from. With the keeper we want, what goalkeeper's that? And please don't tell me 21-year-old Mike Penders, after one season playing at Strasbourg, is going to be a Premier League winning goalkeeper for Chelsea next season. No. More settled defence? No. And group of strikers? No. Bro, respectfully, that's waffle. I don't understand how you can think that. I mean, look, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I just don't know where that confidence is coming from. I don't know where that confidence is coming from at all. Someone please tell me where that confidence is coming from. No, I'm not. There's no falling for it. This is absolute facts. We had a bang average transfer window. when we should have gone and showed that we meant business after winning the Club World Cup in the summer. If you don't agree, that's absolutely fine. If you think this is all great and we're on course and the recruitment model's brilliant and we're going in the right direction as a football club and we're closing the gap and we are going to be closer, that's fine. I don't think that we are going in the right direction to achieve those things. So please forgive me for. Yeah, bro, this is the thing. It's always next season, next season, next season with Chelsea. What about the here and now? What about the here and now? What about the here and now? Bro, we should not be 3 to 4 players away after 3 years and hundreds of millions of pounds invested in the squad. How can we sit there and say, oh, it's fine because there's still 2 more years of this supposed 5-year plan? This is nonsense. You cannot be 3 to 4 players away after the amount of money we've invested. We have signed over 50 players since Clearlake and Todd Bowley takeover. And we are sitting here 3 years in and we are still don't have a well-rounded, well-built squad. And we've got people saying here it's fine because there's 5 to 6 more windows left of this supposed 5-year thing, which is PR nonsense. Like I don't understand where that thought's coming from, guys. I'm just baffled by it. Absolutely baffled by it. We missed a huge opportunity in the summer. And look, we can still achieve good things this season. We can still achieve good things this season. But everything that I was concerned about in the summer, all the issues and the worries that myself and many other Chelsea fans raised have come home to roost literally within 5 game weeks of the start of the season. Literally come home to roost within 5 game weeks of the new season. It's poor. It's absolutely poor. Yeah, this is the thing. And by the way, big up to I wasn't having a go at anyone if that came across a bit strong. But big up to Energy Donk. Hey, look, the whole point of this community is that everyone's entitled to their own opinions, and that's something that I'm really pleased with. Is that no opinions will be, laughed at or whatever. Everyone's entitled to express their views, and all views are respected. As you lot can rightly challenge my views in the chat, I will also challenge your views as well. And this is good for a healthy debate and whatnot. And I'm glad that we can do this on this platform. But I'm just not sure. But this is true from AKA. Every year, it's like, oh, we're 3 or 4 players away. Chelsea are 3 or 4 players away. We can't keep falling for this nonsense that we're 3 or 4 players away. Every window that goes by, oh, Chelsea have signed some players, but they're still 3 or 4 players away. What's that about? It's scaring itself to say we will not be challenging for the Prem in the next 2 years. Do you not think players that want to win things will want out? Look, I've spoken about this before. I don't really know. It depends on the sort of things these players were told when they signed for the football club. It depends on the sort of things that they were told. But of course, the longer we go on without competing for the major trophies and getting close to winning the major trophies, then yeah, of course, naturally, the more players will think. The more players will think about it. Chat, give me 2 seconds. I just need to. Someone's ringing me. Give me Right. Sorry, chat. Yeah. Look, it's a fair point. It's a fair point. Um, only time will tell on that front. Only time will tell on that front. No, I don't believe that. I don't think so. I'd love to be wrong, but I don't get the impression that that's the sort of thing that we'll be looking to do in January. I'm not getting that impression, to be honest. No, I don't think. Well, obviously, at some point we will, but no, I don't think we'll get eliminated in the group stage. No, I don't think that at all. Um, I don't think that at all. Fact of the matter is, the directors don't like the attention being on them when it highlights their incompetency. Yeah, bro. Do you know what the mad thing is? Right, is that they sat there over the summer and thought that what they did was good. That we didn't need additional things. That's the big concern for me. They sat there and thought it was all fine. And I'm just like, nah. Is that all we're seriously doing? Is that what we're seriously doing? I just get confused. You know, I've seen Joe Shields win Stanley, Stewart, seen him after the game against Lincoln in the car park. You know, and I would love to just have a conversation with them and be like, guys, look, what's the plan here? What are we doing? Do you honestly think that transfer window is going to move us forward this season? Bro, this is what I was discussing yesterday on the show with Pice, is that the players that have come in could turn out to be better than the ones we've got. They could turn out to be better. They could turn out to be better, but there's no guarantees that they will be. Madueke, Jackson, Nkunku, and Felix leaving, the only player who's come in that was better than what left is Joao Pedro. The rest that came in attack aren't better than what left. I'm not including Esteban in that because he obviously was signed the previous summer. But the rest are not as good as what went out the door. So we actively made ourselves worse at this point in time in our attack. You know, we actively made ourselves worse, which is far from ideal. Far from ideal whatsoever. Really, really not good news, chat. Really not good news. Yeah, but that's different though. Arsenal are moaning because of the manager and because of the style of play. They're not moaning because of their transfer business. Arsenal's transfer business was exceptional. They've got the best squad in the Premier League. Arsenal fans are not moaning because of their players and because of their squad. They are moaning because of their manager and the style of play. It's two very different things. Arsenal have got all the ingredients to win the Premier League, but they're moaning because of Arteta and his style of play and how he approaches games. No, I don't think so. I don't personally think so. No, but let's not kid ourselves. We've got tough Champions League draw. Tough Champions League draw. Let's not kid ourselves at all on this one. We have got a tough Champions League draw, so we will have to wait and see on that. We will have to wait and see on that. Nah, no one from Chelsea's calling me. It was just a call about some work next week. Yeah, some filming. Well, centre back and a goalkeeper, but there's nothing that can be done about that right now. But centre back and a goalkeeper, that's what should have happened in the summer, and we would have been in a much better position right now. Probably 3 or 4. Goalkeeper, top centre back, and a top striker. I think we're three away, I would say. Yeah, they didn't want to pay for Menyan. I get it. Yeah, he's concussed. He's concussed. Jorgensen cleared him out from a cross against Lincoln, and he's got concussion now. He's got concussion. So there we go. 100% we do. No, look, I don't think it's strictly down to that. Obviously, that will be part of it, no doubt. That is no doubt part of it. There's no escaping that. Yeah, bro, I don't disagree. I think we're looking at close to the new year for Delap's return. I think we're looking at close to the new year, which is concerning, absolutely. But yeah, I would say we're looking at close to the new year for a Liam Delap return. Guys, 85 likes. Get this up to 100 likes. Keep smashing that like button. Get this to the 100 likes. And keep subscribing if you are new round two. We've had one new subscriber today, guys. That's poor. One new subscriber. Chat, keep smashing that subscribe button if you're new round here. And obviously, run these likes up to 100. Get it done, chat. Come on, people. No, I don't think he will. Obviously, inevitably at some point he will. But I don't think we're in danger of Maresca being sacked this season. Obviously, you know, of course, it depends how things go. But Maresca is not at fault for anything right now. No, he wasn't sold. He wasn't sold at all. He can't join until he's 18. So that's why he's still at, obviously, Kairat Almaty, because he can't join the club until he's 17. That is the situation. Until he's 18, sorry. Yeah, but bro, we shouldn't be 3 to 4 players away. That's the point. That after this much money spent and this many players signed, we can't still be 3 to 4 players away. Every window, it's like we're 3 to 4 players away. That's not acceptable. If we lose next 2 games and lose against Liverpool in follow-up game, no, look, again, this is so many ifs and buts. I'm not thinking about anything to do with the manager right now. No, I said many times, Maresca was poor in the United game, but he is not to blame for the wider issues at Chelsea. He's not to blame for the wider issues at Chelsea. That is a really important point to make. Really important point to make, chat. Not at fault for the wider issues at the football club. So we'll see. No, arguably not. Arguably not. I agree. I fully agree with you. I don't really. I think it's hard to argue that there's been a decent window since they came in. There've been some good players signed in the windows, but since these lot came in, I don't think there has been a decent transfer window. It's mad. Absolutely mad. But yeah, Carragher dropping facts. I don't know what's happened, but starting to warm to Carragher in regards to his in regards to his Chelsea takes, because he is, yeah, he's bang on with what he's saying. He's absolutely bang on with what he's saying. What else is happening though, chat? I wanted to bring up some interesting quotes about Mark Guiu as well, because once again, it sounds like Maresca kind of not making excuses, but he's clearly not impressed with what he's seen from Guiu. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Here we go. So again, you know, Guiu not played since he's come back from Sunderland. We've got a lack of number 9s, but Maresca's not used him. The balance of the game, the balance of the team is important. Mark is working well and for sure will get some chances. So again, not really being drawn on using Guiu. He said the same thing the other day when he was asked. Oh, he will get chances. He will get chances. I don't really know when he's going to get these chances. That's the thing for me. When's he going to get those chances? That's what I want to know. When's he getting the chances? No, of course he doesn't. Of course he doesn't. And I don't particularly rate him either. I don't think he's that good. But when you're in the situation that we're in with our current with our current striking issue, like, he should be being used. And this is a criticism I will have of the manager, is that whether you like what you've got at your disposal or not, you need to be making better use of the players that you've got available, whether you like them or not. He should be using the squad better, and he's not. And that is a criticism where I will lay that at his door. That's not good enough, and that's not acceptable. And right now, it is needs must. Big up, brother. Glad to see a real one on the seems our season. I wouldn't say it was in free fall, but yeah, obviously, we're encountering a lot of issues 5 games into the season. Bro, we got to be realistic. That's never happening. That's never happening. Even if he was available, Chelsea would never go in for Harry Kane. They would never go in for Harry Kane. And that's the problem. That's the problem in itself. Didn't refuse to play Vega. Vega played games in the first half of the season. Not loads, but he played games. Felix was shit. Let's just say it how it is. He was awful. Should he have played a bit more? Maybe, yes. But let's not pretend like Felix was some sort of saviour and some sort of unbelievable player that was being treated badly. It's nonsense. The fact we can almost predict what the directors will do in January makes it all the more depressing. Yeah, bro, I hear you. You shouldn't be able to know what your business is going to be for upcoming windows. You shouldn't know that. Yeah, we can pretty much say what's going to happen next summer, and we can pretty much say what is going to happen in January. We can pretty much say those things. And that in itself, to me, is madness. That in itself is madness. So yeah, look, Guiu. No, but bro, this is not his fault. He's concussed because Jorgensen cleared him out. Jorgensen cleared him out when he failed to claim a cross. So this is actually not on Fofana. He has to miss the next 3 games because of concussion protocol for the amount of games you have to miss after displaying concussion symptoms. This is not an injury. So that's the point here. I don't know is the answer to that question. I actually don't know. I'd like to think so, but I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell you when. I couldn't tell you when. I've got absolutely no idea when that might be, and that in itself is a bit of a problem. Guys, we're 4 likes away from 100. Smash that like button. Keep subscribing if you're new around here as well. Really smash the subscribe button, chat. I'd greatly appreciate it. There's definitely people in here who aren't subscribed, so make sure you subscribe. And yeah, guys, keep smashing the likes. We're closing in on 100 likes. 3 more likes, 125 in the building. Let's get it done, chat. No, he's gone. Conrad Harder went to RB Leipzig. There's no Conrad Harder situation for us anymore. Yeah, he's probably not 100% fit. Probably not 100% fit. And yeah, he's not been good. I agree. Truth be told, we have a team of average players. We're miles off Liverpool. Yeah, I do agree to a certain extent. I don't think we can argue with that. Bro, I don't know. I don't have the answer to that question. I'm not the manager. I don't speak to the manager. I've not got an in with the manager. I don't know why that's the case. I don't know why that's the case. But that's where we are right now. I don't know why that's the situation, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. So we will have to wait and see. But anyway, look, Brighton, tough game. I'll tell you what, chat. Let's do a lineup. Let's do a lineup for Brighton. Let's do a lineup. Let me just bring this up now. Let's do this, chat. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Okay. I'm going to bring this up now. We're going to do a team. We're going to do a team for Brighton with our injury crisis. Okay, chat. So, always ads on this. All right, in goal. Sanchez will be back. I never thought I'd see the day where I would be almost grateful. Not grateful, but almost pleased to an extent that Sanchez will be in goal for this game. That's kind of mad. I never thought I would say, oh, yes, Sanchez back in goal. But here we are. Here we are. Which is mad. Which is mad. Bro, I'll be so honest, brother. He's better than Jorgensen. He's better than Jorgensen. I know that seems like a mad thing to say, but he absolutely is. At left back, obviously, it will be the Spanish legend, Marc Cucurella. In at left back. No questions asked. Simple. Unfortunately, at centre back, as we discussed, chat, we only have 2 fit centre backs. And so, it's going to be Trevor Chalobah and Achimpong. That is the centre-back situation. There's no picture for Josh Achimpong. Fair enough. And at right back, Reece James. Reece James, right back. Back 4 picks itself. It literally cannot be anything else. Bro, I don't know how you can say that when he scored 7 goals last season, was majorly important for us, looks a threat going forward, causes problems in the opposition box, but apparently he's shit going forward. Interesting. Has there been any reports of players from the bomb squad getting called up to train with the first team? No, that's not happening. That's not going to happen, and that won't happen. Guys, we're 1 like away from 100. Keep smashing the likes. Come on, people. 1 more person needs to smash the like button for the 100 likes. Let's get it done. Yeah. Hey. Well, no, Brighton's best customers versus Brighton. Yeah, it is, mate. It is, but there's nothing we can do about it now. Nothing we can do about it. In midfield, keeping with the Brighton feel to the team, it is, of course, Moises Caicedo. Done. So Caicedo in midfield. And now this is the interesting one, because a lot of people would say Santos. I don't know. I don't know whether it's going to be Santos or not. Again, I'm not saying lack of faith. Just don't see how anybody at 21 is ready to be first choice goalkeeper for Chelsea after one season in one of Europe's top 5 leagues. Penders is nowhere near Thibaut Courtois levels. Courtois was smashing it up in the Champions League and La Liga for Atletico Madrid at the same age. Let's not do this. Penders could turn out to be really good, but let's not expect Penders to be any better next season than what we've currently got in goal. If that turns out to be the case, then fine. But all I'm saying is we shouldn't be expecting a 21-year-old to be any better than what's currently in goal. That's my main point. Oh, yeah, shit, Baleba Masterclass could be pending. For me, I would probably stick with Enzo. This is just my opinion, by the way. I'd probably stick with Enzo, but if it ends up being Andre Santos, I've got no problem with that either. But I think it will be Enzo Fernandez for me, and I probably would stick with him. Now we go to the front four, and this is where decisions need to be made. There's no Cole Palmer, and there's no Facundo Buonanotte. So this is where we need a little bit of a reshuffle. The obvious thing to do would be play João Pedro in the 10 and play Mark Guiu up front. But I think we can ascertain that that is not going to happen. I think it's very clear that's not going to happen. So for me, I tell you what could happen is that I wouldn't be surprised if he plays Caicedo and Santos with Enzo in the 10. I wouldn't be surprised to see Enzo in the 10. However, I wouldn't want to see that. We go on the left wing, it's Garnacho, because I think, he's done enough to warrant a first league start. I think he offers much more than Gittins does, and I'd stick Garnacho in. I'd then put Pedro Neto on the right side. Pedro Neto right side, and I think Esteval needs to play central. Esteval needs to play central. That's what I'd go for. Neto on the right, sorry. Esteval in the 10 and Garnacho in the left side. And then obviously for the centre forward, it's going to be João Pedro. So that's the team chat that I'd go with for the Brighton game tomorrow. Yeah, to be fair, I did forget about that. I wouldn't be surprised if that to me is actually more likely than what I've picked. Obviously, I'm not predicting the lineup. I'm going with what I would like to see. And right now, I am not wanting to see that. But Kendurance here is spot on with what he says. This could absolutely be a case of, yeah, do you know what? We probably are going to see that. Even if Lavia is available, he's going to be on the bench. Lavia is not going to suddenly go straight into the starting lineup. I cannot see that happening. Lavia could feature in this game. Maresca wasn't certain that he will be. Wasn't certain that he will be. So again, we've got to hold fire on that chat. We've got to hold fire on it, and we need to wait and see. He could well do. Yeah, bro. I'm not even. I don't. Not even. That wouldn't even surprise me. And that in itself is a concern, isn't it? That we could well be seeing him up front. And yeah, we don't want to be seeing that, chat. No, Sterling's available. Well, technically yes, but well, that's something we don't want to see, guys. That is something we do not want to see. Raheem Sterling. Imagine Raheem Sterling in a Chelsea shirt again. That would be mad, wouldn't it? It would be mad. Mm. So we'll see. Yeah, concussed. Not his fault. Not his fault. We got Philip Jorgensen to thank for that. He's not. Fafana's not actually injured. It's just concussion protocol because of that bozo Jorgensen. 4-4. I mean, that'd be incredible. I can't see that happening. I also don't see us getting battered. Maybe I'm being naive, chat, but I don't see us getting battered. Lavia could be in the squad, potentially. Maresca doesn't know if Lavia and Badiashile are going to be in the squad. They could be in the squad. He's not certain. Yeah, when he's fit and playing his best, I agree. I don't disagree with that at all. I don't disagree with that at all. So yeah, we will wait and see. Going 2-2, fair enough. But that's the team that I go with. That still gives us a very good chance of winning. Obviously, defensively, we are a bit suspect. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. I'm still backing us to win this, chat. I'm still backing us to win. I'm going to go with a 2-1. I'm going to go with a 2-1. I'm going to go with a 2-1. This is a good enough side to get the points. Of course, it's a good enough side to get the points. Of course it is. But again, we don't know. We don't know. Brighton win easy. Look, yes, of course, there's a possibility that could be the case. I'm not disputing that whatsoever. Not disputing that whatsoever, chat. We need to see. Look, I'm more worried about us defensively. Going forward, I think we will create opportunities. I'm just concerned about mistakes. This is the problem. I don't trust us not to make any mistakes. I don't trust us to not make any mistakes, and that in itself is the major issue. Mistakes. I don't trust us. Yeah, we have. I don't think we haven't played particularly well all season. That is absolute facts. We haven't played particularly well all season. I don't think that's that's not a mad take at all. I was saying it the other day. I don't think we've played well at all this season. Yeah, true. We absolutely can. Could see a record of sideways passing. It's very possible. It's very possible. Yeah, to a certain extent. You've got to move forward. That's the past. That's the past, and you have to press on and move forward. But yeah, obviously, of course, it's disappointing. Of course, it's disappointing. Yeah, that's the difference. And again, that's the difference in the squads. I absolutely agree on that. Absolutely agree on that. 100% agree on that. Let's see if there's any other. No, look, I don't think mistakes come from mentality, because players that have got elite level mentality still make mistakes. I just think it comes down to decision making and comes down to player quality issues. It comes down to decision making and lack of quality from players. That's the mistakes that we're making. Is that lack is poor decision making, and in certain instances, lack of quality. Those for me are the answers. That for me is why we're struggling. So there we go. No, they haven't. They absolutely haven't, bro. No one's non-believers. I expect us to win tomorrow. It's perfectly fair to criticize the direction the football club's going in. Doesn't mean you're not a believer. Doesn't mean you don't want the team to do well. You can still be a huge fan and a supporter of the football club and criticize things as well. The two things can coexist. Support doesn't mean you've got to blindly applaud and agree with everything the football club does. That's not how this works. But anyway, chat, I'm going to round this one out here. Big up to everyone that's tuned in. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Make sure you smash up the likes on your way out. Subscribe if you are new round here as well. Big day tomorrow. Let's hope we can get the job done against Brighton, celebrate the 3 points, and then prepare for Benfica and Jose Mourinho's return. But guys, I'll be back with my match reaction after the game tomorrow. Make sure you stay tuned in for that one. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Have a wonderful Friday. See you lot tomorrow after the game. If you're at the game, enjoy it. If you're watching it wherever you are, enjoy it as well. Let's hope Chelsea can put a smile on our faces. I'll catch you lot tomorrow. Smash the like, subscribe, up the Chelsea, and I'm out. Love.